What is up, everybody? Escape211 here, and we are on the test server. I'm on BlueStacks. We are looking at Aegis, right? The new mech that we've wanted to look at for so long. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, Aegis. You can tell me in the comments if I got it wrong, but I believe that's his name, which actually means like protector, or in Greek mythology, it would be like a shield that Zeus or Athena or somebody would carry. So yeah, very fitting for this guy because he is that kind of role. We're gonna take a look at this here. He is considered the tank role, and if you look at his stats, they are equivalent to juggernauts. He maxes out at the 24 energy, his HP 128k. Yeah, his energy set, like I said, he maxes out at 24 energy, but you can see the whole set here if you want. And his speed is the same as Juggernauts, all right? So very similar. It's just his ability that's different than Juggernauts, all right? Primarily, that's the main difference. And it is this dome shield that he puts out. He deploys an invincible dome which blocks all weapons and abilities, friend or foe. Certain abilities here, like Repair Field, Overcharge, or System Crash, can bypass this. And I'm assuming some others can, maybe like the Zephyr EMP, but I was not able to confirm that because I only have one account. I can't really test it against other accounts. I really just have to play against AI, so it was hard to be able to test specific encounters like that. But yeah, he has an area shield that he puts down, and then your teammates can benefit from him. And he puts it down on the ground like a cheetah mine, and then it will put out this dome shield. So it's not specifically around him or connected like the personal shield that Juggernaut has. So you have a little bit of flexibility about how you use it and set that up. So a lot of interesting ways you can use it, but it is something that's considered like a structure, and it's not something you can shoot through. So it doesn't really give you much offensive capability. It is purely defensive. And like this says, I'm kind of confused by this. It says he's a prime target, but then it says, you know, prime target for enemies in low HP, extremely vulnerable when waiting for his ability. To a certain degree. I mean, he's not low HP. I mean, he is tanky. He's got a lot of HP, and this is without pilots too, guys. I mean, same thing as Juggernaut. I mean, if you look at Juggernaut and his stats, they're the same. So it's not like this guy is not tanky. He certainly is, just like Juggernaut is here. So he's definitely got the tanky body. But he is someone that's kind of vulnerable just because he can't be purely offensive. His ability has areas where it's defensive, but this can be useful in team play, mainly for support type play, and that's where I think this guy can shine. Yeah, of course, protection against rocket mortars and being good for rocket mortars yourself, but also like if you want to capture a key beacon that is going to be a hot one, center beacon, this will cover the beacon and then you guys can take it. You can also force specific one-to-one encounters because he's tanky. If there's a light or medium mech that's getting in your face, you can put down the shield and both of you can brawl against each other and you'll come out on top where you don't have to worry about other encounters. You can also put this down to block certain areas and different kind of stuff while you're trying to get to certain locations. So it has a lot of various uses, and I think it's very interesting, but because it's purely defensive and it's not something you can shoot through, that makes it a little tricky in how to use. So you get to see a little bit of that as we play, hopefully here, and then some other footage that I have. I did try this guy at various stages because we're not sure what we're going to get. I tried him at 3-star because that's common for what we get when it comes to these crate rushes, something at 3-star, even though this guy is epic. I tried him then at 4-star, which is his natural state, as well as what the bots are on the test server. He did pretty good here. And then, of course, I tried it at 5-star. Got a little stronger there. Harder builds at 5-star, but then at 6-star, at 20 energy, got some solid action in there. All right, so we're going to try him here fully maxed with Major on and the arc turrets because I think, you know, when I want to get in an encounter, I want to kill something fast and brawl with it, and this should be a good way to do that. So we're going to jump into a match and see how he plays out here. He's usually not one I would start with unless you have teammates that are going to be with you. And that's what I would say is probably where this guy will shine. When you have a good team setup, good type of situation where you and your team can work together, one where maybe they can rush to the center. So like this is a wide open center area. This is a tricky one to fight with this guy or by yourself unless you have some teammates. So his shield can be nice if you want to push to the center, block you from rocket mortar fire or any other fire, and then make sure you get it. So we're going to try to do something like that, but I don't know. It depends on if my AI guys let me walk through. Gosh, I hate how they do that. It's so annoying. They don't really give you much option. Yeah, and we don't really have fast guys, so they're able to get to the center first before we are. I'm going to try and sneak on this side because it looks like, oh, maybe not all of them. I was going to say all the AI is on the other side. And I don't really want to get in an encounter with this guy because he has long range, so I'm going to be at a disadvantage, so I want to wait until I can take him out and get little recourse from the enemy. But this is a situation where I'm going to try to push in here, center with my buddy. I'm going to drop the shield, and you just see that it drops like this little thing here. And then we make sure we get it, and I can pull back while still having some protection. So now, obviously, that guy's too far for me to shoot at, but if he wasn't, I wouldn't be able to hit him inside that bubble. But the idea there, like I said, purely defensive and good for a situation like that when you want to make sure you get center. They're probably going to take this back, but that's all right. We'll go back in and take it if we need to. Looks like we're keeping it, though, for now. But they're trying to push in, so I may actually drop my shield down and push in a little bit myself. Try doing that here. Although this guy is going to try to freeze me, so I'm actually going to back out because that would be bad if I was frozen in the middle with no protection. See, as you can see, like only one of those hit that guy on the side because I couldn't actually drop both to hit him. Or I mean hit him with both the arc turrets, just because this, like I said, is considered kind of like a structure. Like even the AI, you know, it's interesting because like, you know, you think of Panther and his ability. So let me see if I can get this guy to shoot at me. So if he does, or this guy does, if I put this up, he's not going to attempt to shoot at me, but he will still see me, target me, and then kind of like get on me. But I can go into here and fight him inside. Oh, he pulled out. So I can't really fight him inside when he does that, but normally you could. And since he was a scout, that's actually not a bad target for me to try to take on. But, you know, you kind of get an idea of how this works. The bubble is an enclosed area. You can't shoot outside of it. And enemies can't shoot inside it, which in some ways is nice. You can actually use it to scout enemy positions, which is cool too. But yeah, it's not really something that's super like offensive. I was hoping it would be something that you could set up like a Panther shield where you can shoot through it and they can't. Maybe that's too OP, but that would have been, I think, more ideal for something like this. So I'm going to put this up, protect my guys a little, or at least myself, because my guy isn't even trying to do it. I'm going to see if I can shoot this guy through here. Little bit can. Okay. He wasn't able to really shoot me, so that was good. Okay. Goodbye. Good. Let's back up here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's, like I've said, it's an interesting ability. It gives you potential. Nice for protecting against jabs and obviously rocket mortar fire. But yeah, it can be tricky too. I'm going to back up here because otherwise I'm going to die. Alright. Don't want to do that. We can help it. But we got that one. Yeah. I mean, not an amazing run, but this guy is hard to make super amazing either. You know what I mean? I think he is one that, like I said, with team play and positioning, he's going to have some strength there. And if you have a defined strategy, it could be really cool. A couple of these guys could, you know, block off certain areas when you need to, like, you know, like similar to the map we were just on, if you need to walk to center, you could throw down a couple shields, get to center, and keep yourself protected. So I think there's some interesting potential in usage. And like I said, if you just put on rocket mortars, you'll be able to fire and then protect yourself. But again, it's not like you can fire through it. So you can't use your rocket mortars against your target directly like that either. You would have to fire and then know when you can counter fire against it. So he's not like crazy OP. I mean, if you think of how Panther's ability is, it makes Panther 100 times better. This ability is very interesting, and I think we'll have some defined strategies. I could see where like this guy with an MD staying in the bubble, defending an area can be really hard to take out if they have good time shields as well as keep healing themselves back up. And areas where you just, like I said, you need to capture a point, ideal for that, just because he can make sure it locks the area down while he turns it. So I think there's interesting capabilities with this guy, but I also don't think he is super OP. I mean, you look at Killshot, Panther, Stalker, all these other ones they've been putting out. These are key to make sure you have. This one, obviously, they centered around rocket mortars because instead of trying to balance rocket mortars, they're trying to put out a counter that you have to buy. I don't necessarily think this is going to change the rocket mortar game entirely. It is an option to have counter to rocket mortars, but because it's not like this is a shield that is going to do everything for you versus rocket mortars, and because he's slow, I don't think it's going to be a catch-all that's going to solve all your rocket mortar problems. So in that sense, I don't think he's a necessary buy. But that's just my feeling and initial thought. Like I said, it's hard to do more testing unless you have people, and I think that this is ideal for this guy to really see how it plays out in real combat with other players. But I'd love to hear what you guys think of this guy. Do you think he's going to be super OP, super awesome? Do you think he's pretty average? Will you get him? Will you not? And how do you plan on using him? And all that kind of stuff. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you out there on the battlefield.